One of the biggest struggles that a lot of your relationships face these days is that they're not in the same place geographically. Long-distance relationships can present a challenge every couple faces differently. Some make it work, while others don't seem able to manage the obstacles and eventually break up. So what could be causing long-distance relationships to fail? I want to take some time today to explore this question and look at why so many remote romantic connections fall apart or never even get off the ground. Stick with me for a few minutes as we investigate together. Long-distance relationship pitfalls. A lot of research has been done on long-distance relationships, and one common factor that's often highlighted is the lack of physical intimacy. This can be a huge issue for couples who are miles apart. How do you bridge that gulf? Even when two people make an effort to stay connected through digital methods like video chat, there's no denying that it doesn't quite make up for actual face-to-face time with someone you care about. According to various research studies, most long-distance relationships fail because close physical contact is impossible over long distances. Another factor that can contribute to the failure of long-distance relationships is communication issues. Different time zones can make it difficult to stay in touch, and if one person's schedule is more hectic than the others, then it can lead to feelings of neglect or resentment. This often leads to misunderstandings and arguments that can spiral out of control and eventually cause the dissolution of the relationship. Physical distance can create feelings of loneliness and insecurity in a relationship, which can lead to increased fighting and miscommunication. With the added pressure of having limited time together due to being separated by geography, many couples find themselves unable to cope with all the stress and eventually split. It's also important to remember that long-distance relationships involve more than just the two people in it. There are friends and family members who may feel neglected due to the focus on a romantic partner that is far away. This can often lead to feelings of isolation, which can further add strain to an already difficult situation. So it's important for all parties involved in a long-distance relationship to make sure everyone gets the attention they need. Now that we've looked at some of the reasons why long-distance relationships struggle, let's take a look at some things to avoid to keep from ruining your long-distance relationship. Assuming long-distance relationships are easy. Don't assume long-distance relations are easy. A lot of couples think that if they just love each enough, the distance won't matter, but this simply isn't true. Be honest with yourself about how you both feel being apart and make sure you're both prepared to put in the extra effort to keep the relationship going. Not being willing to put in the extra work. It's also important to remember that long-distance relationships take work. Couples need to make time for each other and find ways to stay connected despite the distance between them. Otherwise, things will start to feel stagnant or may even begin to unravel. Make sure you both set aside regular times to talk, share experiences, and keep each other up to date with what's going on in your lives. It'll help you both feel much more connected. Away. Failing to set ground rules. It's important to establish ground rules within any long-distance relationship. This means talking about how often you plan to communicate with each other, how much time will be spent apart before you both come together, as well as outlining expectations for special occasions and holidays. These are all important considerations that can help set the tone. It's also very common for guys to start to lean on their girlfriends for support while they are away. Following this and other rules and being accountable for your actions will give you the best chance at success. Creating jealousy through social media. Finally, be aware of the potential pitfalls that come with social media. With so many couples using social networks to stay in touch, it's easy for feelings to get hurt if one person posts something without thinking it through first. Try and avoid any awkward situations by discussing what is and isn't acceptable when it comes to your social media activity. Not having a plan for when you are together. Finally, if you are lucky enough to be able to visit each other on occasion, make sure you have a plan. Once the novelty of being together again wears off, it can be easy to fall into bad habits or neglect things that need attention. Have an idea of what you both want to do when you're together, plan trips, activities, shared experiences, and make sure you take advantage of the time together. Having unresolved trust issues. Finally, it's essential for couples in long-distance relationships to trust one another implicitly if they want their relationship to last. The lack of physical intimacy can be a big issue for long-distance couples, so it's important to establish a strong foundation of trust in order to keep things running smoothly. Cheating on her while you are away. Obviously, cheating on a partner is not a good move, but it's especially important to stay faithful when in a long-distance relationship. Even if things become difficult while you're apart, try to remember why you are together in the first place and don't take any actions that might hurt your partner, or your cheating is a huge no-no when it comes to long-distance relationships. Just remember, if you decide to be unfaithful and don't tell your partner, eventually the truth will come out and can ruin the entire relationship. So, if you are in a long-distance relationship, make sure to stay faithful. Not being patient with her. Long-distance relationships require a lot of patience on both ends. It's tough to be apart from the person you love, so make sure you're understanding and patient with your partner in order for things to work out. Whether it's talking through an issue or just being there for each other emotionally, taking the time to show your partner you care will go a long way. Long-distance relationships can be incredibly challenging, but they don't have to be impossible. With the right attitude and some understanding between partners, couples can make it work.